Have you ever heard of Mr. Q before?
When did you go to Qatar? Because clearly this is wrong. Like, did you go like in the 1920s or something?
What do you think is the importance of making connections as a content creator, especially here in Qatar?
Tell me, what gaming store in the world offers you free karak while you're shopping?
Do you have an advice for aspiring content creators?
Why are you not talking Arabic? Is it because you don't care about your mother tongue, for example?
Hello and welcome to the Late Night Podcast by Q+. I am Khulud Al-Ishaq and my co-host today.
I'm Latifa Naimi, and in this podcast we discuss interesting topics with interesting people.
Latifa, have you ever heard of Mr. Q before?
Of course, who hasn't?
Of course, who hasn't? That's why we have Mr. Q with us today at the studio. Khalifa, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. How are you?
Not bad. How are you all doing?
We're good.
We're good.
great.
Energized,
We're
feeling
excited.
pumped?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
We're
Excited
excited.
to have you here.
Thank you so much. Allah khaliku. Thank you.
You started with I Love Qatar, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a social platform, so it was a blog at first, right? Or was it?
Yeah, so actually when it first got started, it was simply a page, just a couple of pages where I had explained a little bit about Qatar and its history and that sort of thing. And it just kind of blew up in popularity. And then eventually I decided, you know what, I wanted to add Mr. Q's blog to it. And then I would just start talking about stuff that I experienced on a daily basis. And it went from a blog then to a forum, where then we opened up the conversation for people to have a chat. And we called the forum a digital majlis. And it's now the site that you see today. So we're the largest digital media network.
So, so many people have tried creating blogs about Qatar and, everything about Qatar. But they got like discouraged and they discontinued their work. But I Love Qatar, like, how did it rise to what it is today?
It flourished. It
Yeah,
flourished.
it flourished.
It rise to the top.
Because I remember
didn't
seeing it
stop.
when I was a kid.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was like, okay, someone made a blog about Qatar, and it's in English. So it's like a portal to the other side of the world.
So I don't think that a lot of people gave up with their blogs. I think what happened is that you had a lot of expats and a lot of foreigners who moved to Qatar and they wanted to just showcase, the country and their experiences here. And then some people, they'd stay, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 years, and then they move back home. And then once they move back home, there's nothing else for them to blog about, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where the blog ends. And then there were other websites that had either maybe put out some information out there that then became quickly out of date because Qatar, as you know, is like one of the fastest developing countries in the world. And so it was hard for them to maintain it. And then the way that I started was actually, I started also, besides my page, I was also contributing to other websites and other forums. One of the forums that I contributed to was Qatar Living. And I saw that there were a lot of expats teaching expats about Qatari culture. And I thought, wait, how's this going to work? Especially if they don't live it or they don't understand it properly. So
the culture.
Okay, I'll be the Qatari guy that will answer their questions. And so when people know my nickname as Mr. Q,
Yeah.
the Q actually didn't stand for Qatar initially. It stood for questions, because I would take people's questions and I would answer them.
Okay.
And as time just passed, I had some suggestions for the creators of that website and what they could do. I was ignored. And then I thought, you know what? If they're not going to listen to these ideas, I'll do it myself. And I ended up building. So actually, them ignoring me pushed me into doing my own thing. And I Love Qatar was born.
So was I Love Qatar, because you just mentioned how it started, but did it start from, because what I clearly remember is Qatar Living. So was it Qatar Living and then I Love Qatar?
Yeah, they were first. And what they were known for was for their forums. As well as their classifieds. And so a lot of people would go and visit. Those are, I think until today, I would say that those are also their main thing is their classified business. And so I remember Googling online, or actually I should take a step back. When I was in university, I was in the university square, and I was having a really bad day with my professor.
Okay.
And
What happened?
the professor just wasn't getting me, wasn't
Okay.
understanding, and I felt like the professor was being a bit rude as well. So it was just a bad day.
That's the worst.
And yeah, and I went to the square, and this Japanese girl comes up to me, and there's usually three questions, that I get asked. It's like, "Hi, what's your name?" It's Khalifa.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Qatar. And then the third question is, "Where's that?" This is like back in 2002, yeah,
Where did you study?
in the UK,
Okay, what was your major?
law.
Nice.
Yeah, specializing in international corporate contract law and environmental law. And because I had a bad day, and she said, "Where's that?" I said, "Google it." And that's when I learned, when you tell a Japanese person to go and do something, they'll go and do it. So she went off and she came back the next day. She said, "I tried to Google about your
No
country. I couldn't
way.
find a lot of information."
They're just gonna tell you, oh, is it in Dubai?
Well,
Is it-
yeah, a
Or
lot
like,
of people.
is it next to Dubai?
Yeah.
The people's mentality actually changes depending on where you said. This was back in the day, right?
Yeah.
If you said, "Oh, Qatar's near Saudi," they'd be like, "Oh, it's a religious country." Or if you said it was near Dubai, you'd be like, "Oh, do you guys have like
Do you
lots
still
of skyscrapers?"
transport by camels?
Yeah.
This is
The
yeah.
usual old
Yeah,
school
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I decided, let me go and Google it myself, because I never thought about Googling my own country before, right? And then a lot of the information that I saw online, again, was either out of date or was completely wrong. Like, there was
As always.
one guide, again, I think it was The Lonely Planet, where they had said, "Make sure you boil the water before you drink it." And I was thinking, when did you go to Qatar? Because clearly this is wrong. Like, did you go like in the 1920s or something when we had nothing?
Exactly.
And that gave me more of a reason
To start.
to build something,
So Khalifa, you started first as the platform Qatar Living, and then Qatar Living went into I Love Qatar. What initiated that?
Yeah, so I was a contributor on the forum because what I wanted to do is I wanted to basically be the Qatari friend that answered people's questions about the country, right?
Okay.
Because, think about it. It's the easiest thing to do for us is to answer and make friends with people online, because it's so difficult for us to make friends with every single foreigner physically, right? I mean, just look at the population, right? That means for every foreigner to have one Qatari friend, that means every single Qatari, including just born babies, need to have 10 foreigner friends, right? If you think about it that way. And so
Okay.
it's just impossible. But online, you can talk to everyone. And so I just wanted to be that guy that was always available, to bust myths and misconceptions. And then eventually, I tried to contribute to the forum and to Qatar Living, and I had some ideas. But at the time, maybe they wanted to go in their own direction. That just pushed me more to build up. I Love Qatar.
So this is the inspiration and motive behind starting I Love Qatar and Qatar Living. Doesn't it get overwhelming sometimes? Keeping up with all the news, the events that happen here? And then having to cover them up, like consistently, showing
Yeah.
from an event to an event.
Okay, so I mean, for me, it's super fun, right? Just being able to go to all of these amazing activities. And yes, there is a lot of stuff that happens, but I read a lot. I consume a lot of content. What I do that I think made I Love Qatar popular is that I have a policy with my team, is that it's not about being first, it's about being right. And so we verify everything before we publish it. And so now we have that reputation that if somebody sees news somewhere, they'll go and check I Love Qatar to make sure it's there. If it's not there, they're like, "Oh, something must be wrong."
So a legit source.
100%. Because there's responsibility, at the end of the day.
Exactly, yeah.
And I feel like I want to do things Qatari style. Qatari style means setting the bar high,
And I think honesty is a big deal to media, to people who
Yeah.
work in the media, because we cannot publish anything without it being honest and truth. I mean, we're in the media
Yeah.
to deliver truth, and if it's just not verified,
Yeah, because
I don't
there's
think-
only so many mistakes that you can make, and then eventually your own community will be like, "I can't trust these people. I'm
of
not going to believe
course,
what they're saying."
of course,
Exactly,
and you
yeah.
have your reputation to keep. But I Love Qatar. It's already verified. We all check it out, and it's just, I mean.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, and what do you think is the importance of making connections as a content creator, especially here in Qatar, as Khalifa Al-Haroon?
So I don't want to say, okay, so we'll talk about from the Qatari side. The Qatari side is that in our culture, friendship is the priority. My dad once asked me, said to me, "Khalifa, what's the point of going into a business meeting?" And I thought it was a trick question. I was like, to get the best deal, He's like, "No." He said, to do as much business as possible. He's like, "No." He Said, you give up? I said, I give up. He said, to walk out with a new friend. Forget about the business. Inshallah, it will come in the future. Just walk out with a new friend. And so that's stayed in me, right? Like I just wanted to make sure that whoever I'm talking to, I want to make sure I create, new friendships. That was number one. And then number two, my uncle Muhammad told me one time that not in the old airport, but like in the old airport, that because there were so few people that would visit us here in Qatar, that there was some people that would hang out at the outside of the airport with tea.
What do you mean hang out?
They just hang out at the old airport. They just like literally just chill. Just like how people, I guess, chill at the
Okay.
petrol stations, you know?
Okay.
What are they doing? I don't know. But yeah, they would just hang out. And then whenever they would have people visiting Qatar, they would actually offer them tea, And it was just a nice way of just welcoming the
No
new
way.
people. Yeah, yeah.
Qatari hospitality at
Qatar-
its best.
100%.
Exactly. Especially when you offer them karak.
Yeah,
That's a must.
Or Sleimani tea.
I mean, I don't drink
Red tea.
much Sleimani tea.
Yeah, but like,
Slimani versus Karak going on.
Exactly. I'm more of a karak person.
Khalifa, does it ever get overwhelming for you as a content creator and as a public figure to cover up all of these events, an event after the other?
It gets tiring, that's for sure. I have been publishing content every single day for 15 years.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah.
Mashallah.
And I'm definitely tired. And honestly, I'll tell you, I really honestly thought that by now I would be passing on the torch to the next Qatari content creators who would be able to take my place, because and I'm almost 40 years old, and I need to focus on other things and family and so on. And I'll do this as long as I can, but it's a responsibility on my shoulder that I hope that we can share.
Yeah.
And again, as I said, I want to pass on the torch to the next people who will
But
represent.
you still haven't decided on that yet.
Well, it's not me to decide. I just need more Qatari content creators who can release content in English. That's the challenge. And a lot of people feel shy. I mean, you're probably one of the first people that I've met that are creating such content.
That's great.
So
We're
Hopefully
here.
we're the first.
We're here.
first of many, inshallah.
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 Yeah, and I think, as you said, yeah, they're shy because I think they
Yeah.
overthink the fact that, if we appear online or like we publish something, what people say, we're going to come off as like cringe or like, not good enough, or people are going to make fun of us, or we're not going to get enough views. So what is your message to those young
Aspiring
content
content creators.
Yeah.
We all suffer through social anxiety and worry about, what people are going to say. But I think it's with time and practice that we learn to flick that switch off in our minds and just block them out. You only need to care about people who care about you. And there's an expression, when people talk behind your back, the reason is because they're behind you. You're in front of them, right? So think about it that way. So it's also from they say that all news is good news. So even bad news is good news, because again, people are talking about you. People in our culture, we're so worried, we're so sensitive, I guess, to people's opinions.
Yeah.
But again, you just need to fight through that, because even when I got started with I Love Qatar, there were a lot of people who were against me.
Yeah,
Why are you
I
talking
was-
in English? Why are you not talking Arabic? Is it because you don't care about your mother tongue, for example? But that's because they didn't see the big picture. They didn't understand that what I was trying to do was to build bridges with non-Arabic speakers so that they could learn about our culture and what we stand for. And today, those same people, alhamdulillah, have understood that what we were doing is really important, and they're on my side. So if you can't, if you're worried about people not being on your side, eventually they will. And those who are stubborn and still just want to hate for the sake of hating, they're not worth your time.
But
Just don't
those
think about it.
people have understood that you started your platform and you started all of this because you were there to learn, to entertain, to inform, and that's the purpose. This is what I know about I Love Qatar, for instance. It's that it's an entertainment platform. It's a platform where I go. Sometimes I look up dining places, like where to dine or like winter activities and stuff. So because you cover a lot of aspects in I Love Qatar, from dining experiences to events to news to culture, what's Khalifa's most favorite aspect of all the? There's events too.
Okay, so my favorite part, or I think my favorite part of I Love Qatar is maybe the event section, just because we list anything and everything that's happening. If it's happening in Qatar, we'll list it. We'll let you know what's happening. But my personal favorite thing that I love doing was the show called Q-Tips. And Q-Tips was a show, just focused on bite-sized bits of content where we answer the community's questions about our culture.
Oh, that's nice.
And that got to, we filmed 250 episodes. We used to release one episode every Sunday. I say used to because I've stopped doing it because I've run out of things to answer. And we would just answer and talk about things that, that I think a lot of people misunderstood. For example, one time somebody sent us a message saying that they were told that it is illegal to look at a Qatari woman in her eyes.
What?
Yep. And so I was like, how do people, and I did a survey and I asked people on social, I'm like, how many people have heard this? And it was a huge amount of foreigners.
No way.
I was like,
No
yeah. I was
way.
like, what?
Really?
Yeah, so I had to make an episode just to
About
answer
that.
this. I said, listen, it depends on how you're looking. If you're going to look at a girl that you don't know and give her laser eyes, it's rude.
Yeah.
It's not illegal, but it's rude.
inappropriate.
But you
Yeah.
wouldn't do it anywhere else in the world anyway, like you just don't stare. you
Just
know?
a general rule,
It's
not
just a
to stare
general
too
rule.
much at people. Yeah.
So once I answered that, it's funny how many people calmed down because they felt like, oh, okay, I can relax in
I
public.
can't believe that.
Yeah.
Speaking of misconceptions, my sister last year was in LA Comic Con, and she was talking to a guy about like a game, and she told her she's from the Middle East. He was like, "No way, you guys have games in the Middle East?" And she was like, "What? Of course we do. I mean, I was just speechless when she told me that. I was like, what? People still like
Yeah.
think this
That
way
way,
about the
yeah.
Middle East?
I mean, it's just because so many people are uneducated, and it goes back to what I was saying before. We need to build a community of content creators based from Qatar and from the region, so that more people can learn about us, right? Just as much as we learn about others. So.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? Next time, tell your sister to tell them that we have actually the biggest gaming store in the Middle East in Qatar.
This is just why.
Exactly.
Yes. Let's get into
Exactly.
it. Yes.
Let them go. Oh my God! Didn't know.
Store 974.
Yep. By the way, what's your favorite game?
Right now,
Yep.
or of all time?
All time. Let's say.
Final Fantasy.
Oh, I love Final Fantasy. By the way, I played 15, and I just finished 16 last month. I mean, it's amazing.
I'm so usually if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you're divided into two camps. You're either a Final Fantasy 7 fanboy,
Yeah.
or you're or fangirl, or you're a Final Fantasy 8. I'm Final Fantasy 8. I love Final Fantasy 8 so much. It was an amazing story, and it's the only game I remember as I was growing up that by the ending, I actually cried a bit because
No
the
way.
story was so beautiful.
I cried at 15.
You know,
I
you cried.
bawled
You cried at 15.
Yeah, I bawled my eyes out.
So emotional, right?
I know. And also the soundtrack is amazing.
So yeah, so Square, and now Square Enix, they have amazing art, amazing stories, amazing voice actors,
Exactly.
amazing sound scores. Like everything they do is just.
Yeah, just a masterpiece.
I don't understand a thing that you're saying, and I don't have a background
Don't worry,
on
I'll
games.
show you later. I'll show
Yes,
you.
of course you have to. But yeah, as I said, I don't have a background on gaming. But which takes us to your store, Khalifa. So you're the owner of Store 974.
Yeah.
And do you sell that game at your store?
Yeah, we do. So what's special about Store 974 is that it started off as a place where you can buy components and build your own custom PC. And then I started to add on different elements and sections, to Store 974. So, for example, we have a section called Retro Go-Go, where you can find the oldest consoles in mint condition, in perfect packaging, cheaper than if you would even buy them
Wow.
from eBay. Because I actually have a team who wander around Eastern Europe just searching for stuff,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No way.
So that's Retro Go-Go. So, of course, you can find even some of the older Final Fantasy games.
I mean, believe it or not, I found something really interesting in your store.
Okay.
I visited the Mall of Qatar store,
Okay.
and it's not like, believe it or not, it's not even related to gaming and PCs.
What is it?
It was a Korean Funko Pop, a Korean yeah, it was a Korean Funko Pop. I'm not shy to admit
Why
it.
do
but
you sell K-pop merch at your store? It's
No,
like
so
gaming.
Funkos, for
it
example.
was Funkos.
The main reason why we started selling them was because when you're building your own custom rig and you have like a theme, let's say you have like a
Yeah.
Batman theme or whatever. So these are awesome little things to put inside
Yeah,
your PC as a
exactly.
decoration.
I bought 3, and it was all the BTS members.
got BTS
I got the BTS members, and I
That sold
couldn't-
out in 2 days, by the way.
Yeah,
Our whole
I couldn't
supply.
find them anywhere else, and I just like I went on an occasion, and I was looking around, and I found them. I was like, what? wait, I'm taking you with me. I'm not leaving you behind. I'm not leaving you behind. But Khalifa, I'm really eager to know. So did you start Store 974 because of the lack of PC and gaming accessories
Yes.
here in Qatar?
100%. I went and I wanted to build my own PC, and I just couldn't find anything, or the prices were so expensive. I'm talking about
Exactly.
a processor at the time. I remember it was like an i7 processor. I can't remember what generation. Was 4,500 riyals. You could buy the same processor after I set up 974 for 1,800. Like that's a
nice.
huge price
I
difference.
think you have your own processor and like
Yeah,
things,
I have a
things.
PC. By the way, I got my monitor and my keyboard from.
Oh, really? What
Starnet.
brand?
I forgot. It was a white monitor, but I forgot. I mean, I'm not
Okay.
really good with names.
But it's from 974.
Yeah, but actually, yeah, about the prices. Yeah, the prices. I like how
Cheaper
it
than
has
Amazon.
like.
A lot of our stuff is cheaper
Yeah,
than
actually,
Amazon.
it has like there's a variety of brands. You know, even like if you're looking for a specific color for a PC, also like the prices can range. It has like a wide range of prices,
Yeah.
which is amazing. I think it makes us
I
like
think
special.
one of the things, okay, the pricing, of course, is one thing that's important, but I think what made it different is that, inshallah, you had a great experience in the store because
We did.
I
Yes.
work really hard with my team to make sure that, one, they can answer every question, they know what they're selling. And then number two, I always tell them, if a customer isn't walking in to buy something, they're walking in to say hello to you because you've made a new friend. Again, it goes back to the whole.
Yeah.
So this is something that I really try to drum in. And tell me, what gaming store in the world offers you free karak while you're shopping? Nowhere.
It wasn't. It
None.
wasn't just that.
By the way, the team is like they're so friendly. Every time
Awesome.
I walk into a store, store 974, it's just they're so welcoming. They're so friendly, and I could tell they know what they're doing.
Alhamdulillah.
They know what they're selling. And kudos to you, actually.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're amazing.
Because their goal is not to sell you as much as possible. Their goal is to sell you what you want.
Yeah.
Because I would much rather you buy something and you feel happy with it and then come back to me later than buy
Yeah.
something and be like, "Ah, why did I get this? I wasted my money." Like, I want you to
Yeah.
feel good about your purchase.
I
you know?
actually felt welcomed, and then while I was doing my purchase, while I was paying for my the product, the Funko Pop that I bought, they had this mini tray at the cashier. It was like a mini tray with a lot of candies in it. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
really tender. I was like, "Can I take?" And they were like, "Yeah, it's for you." I was like, "Okay." I thought that was really nice.
A lot of free stuff, that we have there,
Yeah, but besides I Love Qatar and Store 974, Khalifa, you're also in Rakam TV. You're a part of Rakam TV and the Social House, I believe. I don't have an idea. We don't have an idea
Okay.
about both of those platforms. So can you tell us a little bit about them?
So Rakam TV is a partnership between myself and a friend of mine, and I bought into the company. It's a YouTube channel. When we were around, I think it was like 35, maybe 40,000 subscribers. Now our total network is over 5 million subscribers.
Mashallah.
We're the world's biggest Arabic technology channel,
Amazing.
and we're on the path to 1 billion views. So we're super excited about that.
Mashallah. So you just discussed technology?
Just tech.
In
Pure tech.
Arabic?
Pure, and it's an Arabic channel.
Oh,
So what's cool about it is that we have obviously the basics like unboxing and talking about the different specs and so on. But then we have like a fight round where we'll actually let the community vote for their favorite phones, and then by the end of the year, the phone that the Arab community has selected as the best. So it's literally giving the power to the people.
yeah.
Another thing that we do is we have a show called Cave, and Cave is we teach you how to actually use certain features in phones because there are a lot of features and devices that you don't know how to
You
use.
don't know
right?
how to
Exactly,
use, yes.
yeah.
And then we have a show called Neshra Tech. And Neshra Tech is a weekly show, where we just talk about all of the latest news and gossip and stuff in the tech world. And
Interesting.
what's beautiful is that we actually have a full team now. By the way, we're the first channel to get the silver play button and the gold play button.
No way.
in Qatar, yeah.
No
It's
way.
amazing.
From
Yeah, yeah.
YouTube?
Congratulations.
Yeah, from YouTube.
Wow,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Now we need to get the diamond. Diamond is next.
You deserve it.
Inshallah,
You
inshallah.
deserve it.
You'll
But
get it.
a lot of our
inshallah.
team are based out of Gaza, and yeah,
That's amazing.
And for us, I think the important thing was, first of all, they're amazingly talented individuals. They're suffering right now with what they're going through. It's terrible, and they're not looking for a handout. They're not looking for. The only thing they're looking for is an opportunity and a chance. And I thought, one of the best ways would be to build a team and offer them jobs. And I'm telling you, if you look at the quality of our content, it's world class. It's really
That's
awesome.
amazing, Khalifa.
Yeah.
We got to know about Rakam TV. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the social house?
So it's the social studio.
Social studio. I'm sorry.
And the social studio started off as an events company, and we're the ones who put together the comedy festival. We brought over global comedians to come and do some really amazing events, and then we ended up doing stuff, like the Spring Festival, music festivals, and entertainers. We had people like we brought over Marshmallow, Chainsmokers, Trevor Noah.
Oh yeah, the Chainsmokers.
Yeah.
So it was all
Oh.
because of you.
Well, I
when
mean,
they came-
our company does the A to Z, so we bring over, we recommend the talent, we bring them over, we do the branding, we do the filming, we do everything.
I think it was Boyce Avenue as well.
Boys Avenue
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
Boyce Avenue.
Yeah.
I was in
Oh,
that
you
video.
went?
No, I was in that video. I remember seeing it, and
Okay.
yeah, I remember looking at myself in that video because I went for Boyce Avenue.
Okay.
I've been a fan.
You
since-
gotta show me.
Yeah,
show
I'm
me.
gonna have to show you because I was a fan of them since a really long time ago, and then when the
Yeah.
social studio.
Yeah.
And now it's
You'll
that
know our
Boyce-
logo because our logo is the gorilla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not just a gorilla. It's like you have it like on top of your videos, and it's like in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's very like, and it's huge.
Yeah, okay.
You can't miss it.
Hopefully, you also. I hope that one day your company will be able to bring Comic-Con. Do you think that would be possible?
I mean, I would love to try and do this type of stuff. The issue is that for the social studio to exist and do things, because our market isn't that huge, and we don't, at the time we didn't have a lot of people visiting the country. It's changed obviously after the World Cup.
Yes, of course.
We also rely on partners and sponsors that can help us, cover costs. I mean, for me, the social studio is not about making profit. It's about just literally bringing really cool events and making people happy.
Yeah.
One of the things that we proved with, Boyce Avenue and also with Marshmallow is that people used to think that you need to have these parties, they're like parties and alcoholic venues and so on. And we proved, no, you don't need that to have fun.
It
You don't
had
need to
none.
have a drink to have
Exactly,
fun. Just like the World Cup proved,
Yes.
you don't need alcohol to enjoy a football match.
Exactly.
And I just want to keep on doing that type of stuff, just to just give people more of a reason to come and visit us, and the people who
amazing.
live here just to have some fun.
What is your take on AI as Khalifa Al-Haroon, as a
Oh,
business
okay, this is a
owner
shift, okay.
and as a content creator?
So a lot of people are worried about AI. They're worried about jobs being taken away, or they're worried about the type of fake information that can put out there because of using specific tools. But again, it's just a tool. Just while it might take away certain roles, it'll also add new roles. It'll add new jobs. So you'll always AI actually needs information to build off of. So when you're using AI tools, to create art, for example, it doesn't just think and create art from nothing. No, it takes existing artwork pieces and learns from it. So you'll always need the source, the masdar, and you need the creator to do something
Yeah.
first. So I think that AI is developing at a tremendous rate. I think that there are really cool things as a content creator that I can benefit from and automate. There are some people who actually have used like AI tools to create their scripts for like their YouTube videos and so on. Don't think I'm at that point.
Neither am I.
Yeah,
Neither
actually, I don't
am
even have a
I.
script. I just like to just talk.
I mean, it's
you know?
better.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah.
But yeah, Khalifa, do you have an advice for aspiring content creators?
My advice would be, first of all, figure out what's your topic, right? What do you want to be known for?
Exactly.
Because it's impossible to do a little bit of everything, because people don't know how to define you, and sadly, as human beings, we can't.
You're not going to be able to focus.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't, like, if I didn't know, like, to me, right now, you're the podcasters interviewing, people and sharing that content with, the world. But then if you decided, like, I want to do a little bit of dining reviews, and I also want to be a fashionista, and I also want to be a YouTuber talking about tech, I don't know who you are, I know you like a little bit of everything. So
Just like some of the content creators here in Doha. They do a little bit of everything.
So just focus on one thing you mentioned.
yeah,
Focus on one
focus
thing.
on your what you want to talk about, and what your identity is going to be. The second thing is pick your main platforms. So are you a YouTuber? Are you an Instagrammer? Are you a TikToker? Pick a main. I'm not saying make that your only platform, but make it your main platform, and that will help you decide how you want to reshare your content later on. Number 3, I would say be consistent. Consistency is key. So with Q-tips, everybody knew at 12 p.m. on a Sunday,
There's
a
a
new
video.
episode would come out. So, what is your what's your timeline? Like, how
A
frequently are
time
you going to be
frame,
posting?
yes.
So, and you have to stick to it because people, really it really annoys them when they're like expecting something and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I would say also number 4, as a content creator, always have a future plan for how you plan to diversify to generate revenue. Yeah. So
What does that mean?
for me, like I can't rely on being a content creator or an influencer and the advertisers that work with me forever. Because as I said, as you get older, maybe you slow down or maybe your interests change. So how are you going to continue to make money? So for me, I have Store 974, I've got the social studio, so I invested in other platforms that could help me generate revenue to,
Not just one
keep
platform,
it
not
live,
just
yeah.
one, yeah. Which is better, I believe.
yeah, I mean, even when you invest in stocks, for example, you'd never just invest in one industry, right? You would diversify so that you can have a nice, portfolio. So it's the same thing. You're just investing in yourself.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It pays off later.
Yeah.
And
I
just
mean-
like what's just happening with you right now, all that hard work and all that time and energy is just paying off right now, and I can see it.
Alhamdulillah.
We could all see it. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
I'll also add one more really important thing. This is specifically for Arab content creators. Collaborate. Collaborate. Support each other. Help each other grow. I always work with people, even if they have less followers or subscribers than me, because I hope and I pray, inshallah, they will grow to be bigger than I am.
Inshallah.
Because I want them to succeed and I want them to do great. Because you know what will happen? When you help that person grow to the next level, they'll be able to also pull you up with them.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
So
not-
let's just start
yeah.
pushing each other up a little bit,
Yeah.
Just don't treat everyone like competition. That's all I want to
Yes,
say.
I read a quote somewhere. I think it was on Instagram. I saw it. That people that are always on top, they collaborate and they don't compete.
100%.
And that's just what you said. And yeah, this just proves a point. Yeah, exactly.
Khalifa, we love your vision.
Thank you.
And we love that. We love everything that you shared with us. Your advice to the world is to never compete. I mean, your advice to aspiring content creators and everyone who is aspiring to be in this platform, in the media, wherever they want to be, is not to compete, but to collaborate. Before we end this, do you have anything that you would like to ask of Khalifa?
Well, I think we know. I think all my questions have been answered.
I actually want to ask something.
What is it?
It's Khalifa's motto in life,
My motto in life.
generally speaking.
Okay, so I guess there are 2 mottos. The first one is, so I had it in my yearbook. So everybody knows the first part to, a wise man learns from his mistakes. Everybody thinks that that's a phrase, or a
Okay.
quote. But that's only part 1. Part 2 is a wiser man learns from others' mistakes.
Okay.
So I always,
Makes sense.
remember that, we can always learn from each other, right? And then the second one is, I share the story a lot. And one time I was laying on the sofa, maybe I was 14, 15 years old. I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and my baby sister walks up to me and she gives me a cup of water. And I said, I didn't ask for that. She's like, yeah, but you look thirsty. And I said, how do I look thirsty? I'm laying down, I'm just watching cartoons, And she says to me, I don't know, but it's nice to be nice.
Oh,
So
that's cute.
I learned that from my baby sister, like you don't need a reason to do nice things.
Or
Because it's
to be
nice to be nice.
kind.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Or to be kind.
So my motto is, just be nice.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you here, and
Thank
you're actually very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think we got to know everything that we wanted to know so far. Maybe
all my questions have been answered.
All I want to say to you guys is I just really hope that you keep it up. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys be the next big thing, in podcasts.
Oh, thank you.
Inshallah,
Inshallah.
inshallah, And
Inshallah.
if there's anything that I can do to support, I'm here for you guys.
You're
We really
ready.
appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank you
you're
so
ready here
much.
to support us.
Thank you.
So let us know in the comments what's your favorite game, and see you in the next episode. Thank you.